So there's our camera, the Samsung Gear 360. And what we need is a tripod-like thing to put it on the tripod so that it sits still, and then we walk around it. Now let me go and get a tripod. This is my monopod. There is a thread on there what fits right into the camera, and I'm going to put this thing in the ground. I just stick the stick in the ground and put the camera on top so that I don't have a footprint kind of thing there. So that's my location. Now because my ground is very hard, didn't rain a long time, I put some water there that the ground gets a little softer. And then I implant my stick here. It's hard to get into the ground. It would be great if you could put this thing straight into the ground, but it's not really necessary because the stitching software is straightening this thing out later. So let me zoom out there, and then let me adjust the camera so that you can see the tip of my monopod. And then, so the next step would be to mount the camera on there. Come on. It's probably focusing on the flag and not on the monopod. Okay, so give it a second here. I'm gonna walk over there, and I always keep the camera on this protective little sock there because you really do not want to damage the lenses. There. And then when you handle it like I did, it makes sense to wipe the lens clean, that you don't have fingerprints on there or anything. And this thing shakes a little bit now, but it will come to a rest eventually, and then we're going to start filming. Alright, so it's time to get the phone out to check the camera settings. Maybe I can show this here with my phone. So it's just that you have the 4K video set, that it uses both lenses. Here I'm trying to connect. Can this thing see anything here? It's like so blurry. 4K, and then you check the settings so that all that is okay. So you do all the work, and then later you find out you did a setting wrong. You don't want to avoid that really, so make sure you really set the settings the way you want it. What sometimes happens to me that I do a time lapse instead of a real video, and that messes up your day, I can promise you that. Alright, so now we are starting the actual video. So I do the stock training thing here, and yeah, so we finish this whole thing, and then we have to go to the computer and copy the data. So let me cut this at this point, and then we continue on the computer. So let's imagine I'm done with my video. So back at the computer, I like to transfer the data straight from the SD card, because through USB it takes a little bit longer, and I'm gonna want to save time here as much as I can. So I really take the SD card out. There it is, the one I'm using. So this thing can wait here. And then the SD card I'm going to use with the SD card reader. I use USB 3 to speed things up, otherwise it takes a lot longer. I mean, if your video is only 3 minutes, then maybe it's not that bad, but so this one is like 30 minutes or what, I don't know. USB, that's where you insert your stick. There, like that. And then we go to the computer to copy it. So I'm ready. I have the card here. You can open this thing, and then in there you have to find the video you recorded, right? So there may be more on the card from the last recordings or whatever. So the last one here is which one? This one? Or this one? Which one is it? Oh, I think this one. Yeah, that's the one that is. No, this one? Yeah, that's it. Okay, click there. And if I close this, you can see here how fast that copies. So it's a little bit faster than it is as if you would use USB only. So now we can eject the disk. There. And then we move our USB stick and the card. And time to put the card back into the camera so that you don't lose it. There he is. Let's put that in. Yeah, you need to be very careful with this holder and the way how you insert it. So not too much pressure. There we go. And then the camera is ready to go for the next time. Don't forget to charge it if you have to. So then you need to open your Gear 360 app there and put it on the 360 player. There we go. And then you just drag your video in there. And that's what's going to happen is that it adds it here in the left corner. And then it also starts processing it. Alright? And that takes more or less time, depending how fast your computer is. How many CPUs it has, right? And I don't know, I could fast forward or I just jump to the next step for when it's ready. So yeah, it's ready now, and then you can see here in the ready folder, so where it converts it to, it's injected and stitched and straightened and stuff like this. It adds that to the file name. And that also means when you go in here that you can play it there in the viewer. And if you want, you could upload this. So if you don't do any edits or anything, you could upload this video now to YouTube if you wanted to. But it's very large, and I don't like to upload it like this. I like to compress it a little bit first, but that takes even more time. Okay, so yeah, this thing is working. You look through it if you like it, and then I'm taking it into Final Cut, and in Final Cut I do more to it. So here in Final Cut I have a new project, and it's a 4K project, and then I give it the name there, and then I'm going to import the video to it. So where's my folder? Down here with the file. I just put this into Final Cut. Okay, close that. And then I just basically copy it from there to the timeline. And then I can do wild things to it. So I don't know what to do, but probably we're going to put like a title in there and stuff like that. And if you do this, because it's an equirectangular image, you want to have your stuff in there very small. So it's a 4K video. Here on the back I fade it out. And then here up front we're going to put a title somewhere here. Let's see this. So the problem with the title is basically that the title is a small thing there right in front, but if your camera is pointing in a different direction, then you won't see it. So what we're going to do is we have a very small title, and then we duplicate this a few times and put it in the center line all the way around. Let me show this to you. It's like a little bit slow here. I don't know if it's boring for you. So I need different font. And then I make it a lot smaller. Do we align this thing? No. I think I leave it centered. And then smaller. Like this kind of stuff, right? And then let's select this thing here like that. And then we duplicate it. There. And the duplicate we move over to the right. So basically on this yellow line, this is the alignment to the center of the video. I'm going to put like a few of those out. I put it all the way around. And when I do that, Then it's all around. Doesn't matter what direction the camera is showing, you will see some title there. And then, because of the background is light or not, maybe you can't see the white text in there. I'm gonna put a stripe in the back, like you know, like a background behind the text. I think that's a good idea. So, do I have enough here? So far, so good. Background is a generator. Is that on the bottom here? Where did it go? Generators, where are you? Come here. There, this one? I think this is what it is there. Here, elements, solids there. Let's do green. Come on, in between here, on the lowest thing. There we go. You see now much more clear. All the titles there, and then I smooth this down like this here, and then we go down transparency like 30% with 33%, like that. Okay, so that's cool. Now let's do something else. So how can you do animated stuff? Then it has to fit over the whole thing. Where was this thing? There was the stupid thing with the sparkles. There. Throw that in there and it will sparkle here. And I just have to put this title in the center and then make it really small. Did you see that? Question mark there. And then we need to take all this font smaller. Tiny. There, right? And let's go to 100% there. And I'm sorry. So I'm gonna put this. Where is it here? Come on, there. I'm gonna put this there where the fence is. There. Alright. I leave it in the center because more than likely the camera is going that way. So, I mean, you're lucky. If you see this, this will be like a great thing, like all those sparkles fly all over the place. And then you're probably shocked. If you're lucky, you see the text. Alright, so I don't know if I should do more here or not. You can, all kinds of things you can put in here. I don't know what we have here. Alright, so I'm gonna leave it like this, I think. Right. So what we need to do now from here is we need to compress it. Here, share this thing. So compressor is a 4K for YouTube. Which one? Not that one. We need 4K YouTube there. That. Yeah. So, and then this thing is going from here. We say next, and it's going on its way. And then I come back when it's done. So on the YouTube channel then, after the upload, it's there. You click on it in a Google browser. The Google Chrome is working on this. It does 3D. And then you can move the image around while it plays. And then you see basically the video in 3D, right? A commercial in the way here. Right, so yeah, that's one way to look at it. And for that you should see that you have it set to 4K in the settings in the lower right corner there. You can see the tripod or the monopod a little bit, the stick there. That's a problem with the camera, but you can't have everything. In a good camera you wouldn't see it because it's just a little tiny little stick. Right, and then I do my training. Now, the other alternative version is if you go here and use a headset like this one. this headset, you just insert your phone. See this here? Take your phone, put that in there. And then you select your video on the phone and then you play it through there. Insert this thing here in the headset, right? And I'll show you how that looks like. There, you go in there and then you watch it. So with both eyes you would look like this and move your phone around, you see everything. On the thing here is this button you have to push. And then you see the video there. You have to put your little pointer there to the play button and then push play. And then you watch this thing with your goggles. And you will be fascinated how cool that is.